Hi everyone, welcome to week 5. Boy, you're moving right along. You guys did a great job last week on the different assignments with the fluids and electrolytes, which is always my least favorite topic. So good work. Your forum posts were great. I enjoyed reading through those. I've graded some of them, not all of them so far. So good work, good questions between each of you. Just as a reminder, usually forum posts you need to respond. You need to do your initial forum post, and then you need to comment on 2 other people. And there's a word limit for that, so see the syllabus. It's 250 words. Your initial post has to be 400 words. And then you also need to comment or respond to anybody who comments on your forum post. So don't forget about that either. That doesn't necessarily have a word count, but the reason that they instituted that policy to follow up on anyone who's commented on you is to give us as much like a back and forth as we would have like if we were in a normal live classroom. So that's the rationale behind that thinking. Oh, I just realized the cow picture's behind me. Interesting. So we'll go into week 5, and I'll pull that up for you here. So this is somatosensory, pain, motor function, sleep, emotion, and memory. Kind of interesting topics this week. A little different than last week, which is kind of nice, I think. So, of course, there's a pre-quiz, and like I always say, try and get that done as soon as possible in the week so you can get a handle on areas that might be more of a challenge to you. I wanted to mention, too, everybody seems to be doing pretty well on their weekly module assignments at the end, too, so good work on that. Even though you're not graded on them based on number correct, I do go through and see how everyone's been doing and look at every answer, so you are doing a good job. Let's see, so there's the pre-quiz, and there's some chapters to read, of course, 13, 14, 16, 17, and 18, and then some associated PowerPoints if that is a helpful tool for you in your learning. There are some videos to watch, the neurological nerve synapse, stroke, and action potential. All are very short, under 4 minutes. There's an article about migraines, which is something that you'll deal with in the clinic setting very frequently. It becomes more of a challenge when you have patients who have migraines in pregnancy, a little bit harder to treat. Some people who have migraines tend to see some improvement during pregnancy, and some people with migraines tend to become a little bit worse during pregnancy. So, and we're just limited on the pain medications we can use at that point. So that's kind of an interesting article. There's a postpartum sleep quality scale, an article about postpartum depression and estrogen, information about the opioid epidemic, and then some other videos here about pain, sleep disorders, chronic pain, that kind of thing. So they also talk about, in this week, a few things that are close to my heart. One is Parkinson's disease. My dad died of a kind of a variation of Parkinson's disease about 5 years ago. That was really hard because it went very, very quickly. Very active, involved man who was at everything myself or my kids ever did, and I still miss him. And they talk also about multiple sclerosis, and my close cousin has MS. She's doing very well. You would never know it unless she told you. And then we just also had a close family friend come down with meningitis. He was actually bear hunting in northern Minnesota and got violently ill, went back to his cabin and started having a terrible headache. They took him into the hospital, kind of treated him for like GI, like flu kind of things. Sent him home, and his headache got so bad that he went back in, and they actually transferred him to a much larger hospital. He was hospitalized for over a week, and he just came home yesterday. They discovered that onset was from West Nile virus, so got some interesting things close to my heart this week. So, and I'm sure close to some of you as well. So for this week's activities, there's a case study presentation. You're going to stay in your small groups this week again. I think for our next activity, group activity, I'll probably switch up the group, so stay tuned for that. But for this one, we'll stay in the same group. And your group is going to just pick one of these topics to pick from, or case studies, and you're going to make a 10 to 15 minute narrated presentation just like you've done before. And when you click into each one of these little files, there's a little case study summary for you to read through, and then there's about 4 or 5 associated questions depending on the case study that you pick. One of them is on stroke, one is on TMJ, one is on Bell's palsy, and one is on dementia. So you can look through those and pick a topic that would be most interesting to you, and then divide that up amongst your group. Like I said, each presentation has about 4 or 5 questions, so you can divide that up, like who do you want to make like the title or the entry one or the reference slide or whatever. And then you're going to have one of your group members post that in the forum. Let's see, I'll show you that. That's right underneath this activity, right here. So one person from your group, just so it's not too confusing, will post their presentation or your group's presentation into this sharing forum. And then you're going to need to, as an individual, comment on 2 other groups' presentations that are different than the one you picked. So don't comment on someone who did the same thing. Pick somebody who did something different. So the same rules for forum posts generally apply here. So except for, you're just going to post your presentation. That will be like your initial post, and then you're just going to respond to 2 other groups' presentations different from your own. Okay? When you're done with your individual narrated presentation, you each individually need to submit your assignment here so that each of you get your own credit for that assignment. And make sure that when you do your narration or your slides that you put your name at the bottom corner of the slide so that I know who did which one. So that is the case study presentation. And then there is a Module 5 assignment that is similar to the ones we've done before. It's a little bit longer than the other weeks because there's just so much content involved in this module. So just prepare ahead of time for that. It's not like super long, but it is a little bit longer than in the past. And then each of you is going to need to complete a case study viewing table, and this is just like the ones we've done in the past. Here's the example. So you as an individual are going to watch each group's presentation. This shouldn't be student really. You could change that to group. So make sure you get everybody's group in here. I believe there's 9 groups. And then put their topic, and then 3 points that you felt were very important that you would use in your practice, and 3 questions associated with the topic. I don't want to hear like, your presentation looked really nice and I liked slide 2's graphics, or anything like that. I want points that are to be taken away for you to use in practice as a midwife. That would be helpful to you. So that is it for this week. And then, good news, the next week is break week. Yay! So I won't make a video next Sunday, but I will make one for September 26th. So I'll see you guys back on that day. If anybody has any questions or concerns before that time, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, if I don't talk to you before then, enjoy your break. Use it wisely. Do some self-care. And yeah, have a great time. Take care.